it's come to this. Thankskilling 3 is the long-awaited sequel to Thankskilling. Now, you may be wondering why I chose Thankskilling 3 over Thankskilling 2. Well, Thankskilling 2 doesn't exist. Thankskilling 3 is a movie that skipped its own sequel. It's a movie that presents you a sequel to a movie that doesn't exist, and doesn't really explain anything in between. That, of course, isn't an uncommon thing in movies, thinking along the lines of Star Wars Episode 4. But that film was put in the middle because George Lucas wanted to leave a gap for potential prequels. Anyway, why am I comparing Thankskilling 3 to Star Wars? Sorry, George. So, fair warning here. I don't like this movie. At all. It's honestly terrible in every way imaginable, and I don't recommend it. But I am going to talk about it a little. Mostly as a warning to others. Besides, it's sequel month, so why not? First off, setting expectations, this isn't a slasher movie like the first film. This is... I don't even know how to describe it. A murder mystery? No. Oh wait, I've got it. It's a clusterfuck. So the plot, if you want to call it that, centers around the exploits of Turkey, now called Turkey. And if you couldn't tell the difference, one is spelled with an IE and not an EY. So he's now called Turkey with an IE. Regardless, he's a family man, or bird now, and he finds out that a copy of Thankskilling 2 exists, and he wants it to not exist. The reason? Thankskilling 2 is the worst movie ever made, which is patently false, because Thankskilling 3 exists. Honestly, that's the core plot. There is more nonsense to the film involving a lady that has amnesia, a space worm from the second movie that doesn't exist, a guy dressed like a pirate, and a crotchety grandma. Also, there are puppets, because why the fuck not? The puppets range from okay looking to just downright terrible. Here are a few images from the movie to show how ridiculous it is. So I had a lot of trouble connecting to this movie, the characters, and the story, because it centers around things that never happened. The movie doesn't really do a great job at bringing the audience up to speed regarding the exploits of the movie that never was, either. Or if it did, I just don't remember. To be fair, I was pretty checked out on this movie because, well, I just didn't like it. Going back to the Star Wars comparison, at least Episode 4 explained things to the viewer. Okay, enough about Star Wars again. Anyway, can you blame me for checking out? The story doesn't really make sense. There are lots of references to a movie that doesn't exist, and, at the end of the day, that was a very stupid decision. Again, maybe they mentioned each reference throughout the film, but again, to be fair, I did feel like I blacked out partway through the movie. While the story barely exists, the acting is what makes this movie intolerable. The voices that are used for the puppets are ear-piercing at times, and the actual people aren't that much better. The acting from Thankskilling 1 was at least funny at times. The acting in Thankskilling 3 is flat out atrocious. All that being said, gone is the so bad it's good nature from the first film, and instead, we get whatever this is. The story is awful, the acting is awful, the puppets are mostly awful. Avoid Thankskilling 3 at all costs.